but it doesn't really matter. So, Satisfactory 1.0 is coming out in 24 minutes and 40 seconds, and I can't wait. I can't wait for this to turn to an update icon. It's gonna be sick. Anyway, so bear with me. I'd like to listen to this.
And there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I didn't mention in like the content that I made, because there's a lot of tweaks that working on this big of a game.
Sorry.
There are oftentimes few people at the company know everything. Like, I think I don't think I can count. Like, we could potentially count the amount of people that know everything.
Just checking
like,
my videos recording.
on one hand.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Even
Okay.
that's not a lot, actually.
Yeah, and it, like even then it was
Checking my video.
uh,
Right, sorry about that.
save it.
Oh,
If this is what it is, oh, she just sent me a.
Wait for my chat to load.
Oh. Holy shit. No, but like it's such a huge game. It's
32k
like,
watching.
I constantly, when I talk to people, what is this thing?
Got all that.
Anyway. You can only see what I see. No, but like so very few people know everything, and I oftentimes when I talk to people, I often hear like, "Whoa, I didn't know you could do that." And even when I've made the videos, people like Coffee Stain message me like, "Whoa, I didn't know you could do that." So like it's a big game, and even though people are constantly playtesting it and building stuff for it, it's still things to discover. All right, so then let's just quickly go through sort of a list of things that are coming in 1.0. How do I get rid of this?
the game is out in 20 minutes. Surely they can wait.
No, we gotta
Surely they can
summarize.
wait.
Yeah, we gotta summarize. So if you're just tuning in,
Here's
this
the
is
meat.
the countdown stream for 1.0, where we're gonna drop 1.0 in a little bit less than what's the time? 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exciting. And in 1.0, there's
Body
gonna be a lot of
blow.
new stuff that you haven't seen yet. There's gonna be a lot of nice bug fixing, a lot of optimization, and there's gonna be a lot of new content that you've all been waiting for. And one of the new content that people have been asking for a long time is new factory building. So Tier 9 is going to be available in 1.0. Yeah, very exciting. The final phase of project assembly. And by the way, we've also sort of retconned some of the narrative that we revealed up until this point. Characters such as Katarina Parks and Steve are, well, sort of. Katarina Parks is still mentioned in the game. Fun fact. But they don't play as big of a role as they originally were going to do.
Was Caterium still named after Katarina Parks?
Yeah, so it's, I think that's still
Okay,
the case here.
cool.
So that's still the same. I just wanted to make that video to sort of set the, like, make sure that everyone's on page that, like, okay, we don't expect, like, what you.
I want to know what the Coffee
Anyway,
Stain
so
Studio
Tier 9 is
bodybuilder
going to be
is.
the main thing in 1.0. Like, that's the main new thing, and it's all about finishing project assembly. And project assembly is part of the Save the Day program, which is something we've not talked too much about before. Is like the whole narrative of the game. So you're finally going to get some form of conclusion to the game, which might be strange in a factory building game, but there is one, sort of. You'll understand what I mean when you play the game. And yeah, so a lot of new stuff in Tier 9 is related to the quantum tech that I've showcased in a teaser video a while ago, and that's 2 new buildings: the converter and quantum encoder. Converter essentially converts you can convert resources into other resources, which is something that solves a big problem that we've had in the game for a long time, where if you run out of sulfur, for instance, it's easier to sort of build your own chains and be able to use that. There's a quantum encoder, which is a new production, and the converter does many other things. I'm just going to glance through this real quick. And the quantum encoder takes part of like the big complex building parts. So like you use the converter in a lot of those chains, and the quantum encoder has 2 requirements, or like one requirement is that it needs the new matter, which is excited photonic matter, which is used in every recipe in that, and it also produces byproducts which you need to solve for all the recipes in that, and it's interesting problems. We've got conveyor lifts Mark 6, something that people have been asking about for years.
And belts.
And what?
Belts.
Belts. Yeah, belts. Did I just say lifts?
Yeah.
No, we only have lifts.
Only lifts.
You can only transport them vertically. Yeah.
The unhinged builds that come from that.
Yeah, so you're finally going to be able to take advantage of the 1,200 resources per minute that you can output from a Mark III miner. That's happening. And some people also asked from the videos, is like, but what if you overclock the? Because I mentioned the particle accelerator. It takes like 600 coal to be able to produce 30 diamonds. But then, how are you supposed to? Because that's more than if you overclock that to 250. That's more than 1,200. And I'm not going to give you the answer, but there's a way. Okay, exciting. But there are going to be some, I think, recipes in the game still that you can't take full advantage of due to some limitations. But at least from the Mark III miner resource, like thing, you're gonna be able to do.
You'll find a way. It's you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, yeah.
talking about now.
We got the Blueprint Design Mark II, which is really exciting because a lot of people have asked us for a blueprint designer, bigger blueprint designer, and we decided to go this route. Instead of just taking the default blueprint designer and increase it, we decided to go with adding a Mark II. And you're going to essentially get access to the Mark I in the same place that you do now, which is like tier 4.
It's 4, yes.
None of us in the room play the game. Okay.
It's 4. 4 confirmed.
Yeah, and then you'll get access to the Mark II later in the game. And it's a 5x5, 5x5x5 blueprint designer. So it's a bit bigger. It might not sound like a lot, but having just that one extra foundation length actually does a huge difference. And everyone who's been playtesting it has told us that like now they're able to do stuff in the blueprint designer that they weren't able to do before.
And I got the highlights.
Yeah.
Of that.
There's a new fuel type called Fixonium, which you saw in the teaser video as well. The ball-looking thing might remind you of something else.
The ball of soup.
No relation.
Edging right now
purely
at
coincidental
Satisfactory.
if it looks like something else. And with this, you're going to be able to create plutonium
Overclocked
waste, which will
toilets.
finally sort of. This is wrapping up a big loose end in the game where you can
Was that a
finally
rock and stone?
sink plutonium waste into producing Fixonium, and then with
Rock and
Fixonium you
stone.
can make Fixonium fuel rods.
Why is the
which
Deep
you
Rock
can then use
Galactic
in nuclear
community
power
over
plants,
here?
and these do not produce any waste. They are the worst.
Finally, the
fuel
Dark
type
Souls
in
of
the game,
factory
as in
games
they
here.
burn the fastest.
How many factory
But they
games are there?
You're finally going to be able to like close the loop sort of for that. So and then we have all the new alien tech stuff. So in the last video, I finally revealed the alien technology. This has been in the game since Dawn. Since the dawn of time. They've always had like this work in progress mark.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Now they're usable, and they are by far the most usable items in the game,
yes.
in my opinion.
Yes.
Okay, it's up to everyone. Okay, but the
Oh,
dimensional depot.
he's
like
the guy
I
that
talked
made
about
the
first,
Lego.
is the way to
Let me duplicate the tab.
to essentially get a central storage. If you played Minecraft, it's similar to the Ender's. What's it called? Ender's Nether.
Sure, let me use your account. Let me look. I want to click on okay, whatever, man.
For 40 minutes.
The chest where you can essentially access environments. So like with the dimensional depot, you can upload your production.
Yes, hi
parts,
Jumpy
and you can
Clara.
access
I am
them
streaming
wherever you
because
want on the
1.0 is coming
It's a
out
bit
in
limited,
16
so
minutes.
You can't have like infinite access to it. Ender chest, thank you, chat. Yeah, there were some people in chat who played.
Where's
Minecraft.
chat gone? Let me refresh.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to take advantage of being able to access stuff, and I've always thought
Like,
that this has
come
been
back,
one
chat.
of the biggest gripes when playing the game, is that like when you're just running around the building, you're
What's it?
constantly being like, "Oh,
Come
now I got
back."
this thing, and now I gotta run back, and it's always like one thing. It's always like, oh, I'm out of plates,
Yep.
and I gotta back to the base
Wait.
just to get plates, and then you
I'm gonna miss this bit because I'm trying to
go
sort the
back
chat
to
out.
where we were building, and then like,
There we
oh,
go.
I forgot this thing, I need concrete, and go back and forth constantly.
Too few plates away.
Yeah, like this is by far the biggest, like in my playstyle at least, the biggest gripe I've had, and it really made it so much better. It may seem like I've seen a lot of discussion online where people feel like this will eliminate some of the fun with the game, and it will eliminate like central storage areas and stuff like that. I think you'll still find use cases for that. I think there's still some fun things you can do with that, and having a central storage area is still nice. I still have that in my save file. I still have a central storage area. I just think that you'll play the game a bit different, and I think you'll set up your bases a bit differently, but they're still usable. And also there's the limits to dimensional depot as well, so like it's not like it's infinite. In the end game, it's going to be way smoother, but there's still a limit to it. And you're also limited by the limited amount of submersive spheres on the planet. And then we have alien production amplifier, which is the alien overclocking. No, not alien overclocking. It's the power amplifier augmenter. Sorry, I just jumped ahead. Well, maybe I didn't. They've combined it into one thing here, I think.
Okay.
which is use case for summer sloops. You can put these in the power augmenter building that you've seen in the last video. Big laser machine, big loud laser machine.
Finally.
Yeah, and with that you're going to be able to improve your factory production by increasing the. You're going to be able to boost your power essentially. Very juicy. And then alien overclocking, which is the internal work name for it, but alien amplification I think is the name, where you can overclock your buildings even more essentially. You can spend summer sloops to get a bigger output with the cost of much bigger like
Huge power consumption.
power consumption. Yeah, I think it's like 4 times in a lot of cases.
Something in that form.
Which goes hand in hand with like why you need the power augmenters, because you'll need more power. So, but you'll need to figure out how to spend those. And one fun fact, I believe, is that the amount of immersive spheres and summer sloops have changed on the map. So we have changed like the ratio, and we've reduced the amount of summer sloops, and we increased the amount of immersive spheres. There's also like a couple of factory cosmetic stuff. We've added a couple of new buildables. I think a lot of people wanted way more cosmetic stuff, but you know, that's maybe for the future. You know, like that's maybe something. But we've added a couple of new things. We've added 2 new barriers. We've added a new fence. We've added, so you can add like materials to all your buildings. So instead of just having the regular old factory color sets that we have, you can now also have cool finishes such as like chrome and bronze and Kitahelium is one of them. So make them all shiny and stuff. Very nice. And they can be used on like almost all buildings. So it's not just like the walls and floors and stuff like that. It's actually very. And in fact, almost every video I've made, I've used the I can't remember. It's like.
Oh, the iron colored-ish?
Yeah. What's the cool like carbon fiber color? It's called carbon fiber something I think in the game. On concrete, which I always thought looked pretty cool. So it's not just like darkening color concrete. It's actually with a different finish. And now we're at the, and there's also new windows, I forgot to mention that. And I didn't say this in the video, but I did show it in the B-roll. There are now stairs in Satisfactory.
Way!
Yeah, how about that? So confirming that once and for all, because I saw there was still a little bit of doubt when I published the video, but there are new stairs in the game, okay? And they're pretty baller. Not gonna lie.
They're pretty baller.
You
Just said the stairs were a baller.
Kind of made like huge like spiral staircases that go super high up and it looks super cool. So really looking forward to that. And yeah, that's mostly the cosmetic stuff. And now we're starting getting to the balancing changes, which, as you may not know, we've made a number of changes. I'm not going to go too deep into this. The patch notes do mention a lot of this stuff, like how certain milestones are locked in, and how like fuel gens have their own milestone now, and like the fuel gens are, what was the change again? It's like they take less input now.
Sorry, I was so. Did you hear the shout from downstairs?
I was trying to ignore it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. So I just got completely. I'm so sorry. What was he?
Yeah.
Like past minute. Fuel gen something.
Yeah, the change to fuel generators where like they consume less fuel now. Or, like,
Yeah.
So you'll need to build more.
I forgot I'm streaming.
You need to get more power out of them or something like that.
Oh yeah, this is the,
One minute.
I remember this.
What am I?
Yes, I think you
Okay, good. No one's watching.
do need to build more.
They require less fuel
Yeah.
to
Do
output
something.
the amount that they do, so you can build more now with the amount. Like if you have like a fuel
10
generator
minutes.
set up right now,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to build more with the same amount of like fuel that you put into them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Words.
When 4.0.
So we haven't like does it count as a nerf or a buff? I'm not sure in this case actually, because it's a little bit of a both, right?
Change.
Yeah, it's a big change.
The cop-out.
So stuff like
Toma aí.
that. So we'll drop these patch notes in the on socials and whatnot. You can find them out. Which I've forgotten. We need to link that in the. We need to solve that.
You have socials?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And yeah, there's a ton of new parts, there's a bunch of new recipes, there's new alt recipes. I've avoided talking too much about recipes and alt recipes because I think it's more fun for you guys to discover that and go through it. Also because some of these numbers change.
Yeah.
Less than 10 minutes, let's go.
Come on, way!
Drones can now use all fuel types, not all fuel types, but almost all fuel types instead of just batteries. So batteries have, the significance of batteries have been reduced, rather. And yeah, drones fly differently depending on what fuel type you can use. So the better the fuel type, like the more complex the fuel type is to produce, the faster drones will fly.
Oh my God, the expanding
Oh,
scope.
this one is juicy. You want to take this one?
What is that? I can't read from here.
Zoom in. Talk about
Oh,
yeah.
oh, the most dramatic. Actually, it might be for some people because it's probably the most early game feature of 1.0.
Hey!
Maybe.
Hi!
The fact that the biomass burner now has a conveyor belt input.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is going to make that quality of life in the beginning of the game and maybe later, who knows, very, very, very quite nice.
I think that will. It's like a small thing changed in the early game, but that will have a huge.
Just the fact that you don't have to, again, harking back to the Dimensional Depot, just not having to make as many round trips back to continuously feed them.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
going to be super nice. One thing also, we'll see a little bit how this plans out, but when I was playtesting this at least, I think placing manifolds for biomass generators, you might notice that like they might not be as good because of how fuel generators because you need to fill up for a manifold to make sense, right? And in the early game, sometimes you'd rather have just like put in 10 fuel in that one, put in 10 in that, and 10 and 10, and so on and so forth, rather than like fill up fuel. That's because you'll get more power if you just have an even flow.
Yeah.
So like I think in the early game, I think my prediction, and I may be wrong about this, but my prediction is that we'll see a lot more load balancing for this particular thing, because I think manifold is like the overall preferred method of routing things. So I predict that we'll see more load balancing for biomass generators in the early game, and then you'll move over to manifolds as the game goes on. But who am I? What do I know? I haven't even finished the game.
Oh, it's not!
Let's see here. Yeah, there's a bunch of small tweaks as well to
Must he not finish his own game?
Here's the thing, yeah. So fuel gens now produce 250 megawatts instead of the previous 150. So that's the thing we touched on previously. And there's a bunch of stuff with like NAM changes, such as like programmable splitters and geothermal generators. They're no longer be needing supercomputers, so they're going to be accessible earlier on. And the gas mask is also available in the MAM. Instead of being in tier 5, so it's going to be accessible earlier, which is going to be we're trying to mitigate the whole Noblisk being able to destroy gas pillars.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to talk about this one?
Oh yeah, hard drive rerolling and saving, yeah. So each hard drive you get now only gives you 2 ultra speeds instead of 3. But as a change, instead of dot, because if you don't like those 2 options,
I always thought I should use programmable splitters, but I never ended up using them.
So you do.
I was too far in to bother.
4 options. The thing is, if you do choose to reroll,
They're not hard to use,
you
but
can't then go back.
So I think I used
to
it
the
once.
previous 2. So it is kind of a shot in the dark.
Come on,
Now
6
it's like,
minutes.
okay, I don't like my 2 current ultra speeds that I can pick from.
Right, I'm gonna go to the toilet in
but
this 6
if you
minutes.
do opt to
God,
reroll and
freaking,
those
oh,
other
it's like,
options,
Jesus Christ, ow.
end up being
Anyway, don't matter.
worse or also
1 minute.
effective, then oh yeah, tough luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, 2 options and 1 reroll option for two new options.
Yeah.
And they should also only be able to present recipes that you can produce by that stage of the game. Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah. So yeah, those are most of the new features coming in 1.0. We also have a bunch of quality of life stuff, such as being able to build straight conveyor belts, making 90-degree turns. This is a banger of a feature.
Yes.
And Linus is nodding behind me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so good. Being able to just like drag from one input to the output and just get like straight proper conveyor belts. You can get most of the use cases in there. You just need to learn like a little bit like when to pull from what and like what order to drag things. So that's really nice. If you hold control when building railways, you can now get them to become straight. So it'll be straight in the same axis as their connection point. So they'll still slope down and up depending on the curvature of the terrain. But that is also huge. Oh wait, I didn't know this. Wait, this is new to me. Okay, apparently you can free place signals now, so you can place them wherever you want on the railway instead of just at like the intersection point. That's actually pretty dope.
I have yet to place a single, a single.
I have,
signal
and I
in
didn't
my
notice
life.
that.
So I would have known.
That's
anyway.
huge. Holy shit. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually wow. That's pretty cool.
Chat, is anyone else here a true and tested conveyor belter? Why have trains when you can just have a million belts running across
Because
the
it's fun to set up the signaling system. It seems complex, but it's really fun.
Yes, it is complex.
Yeah, but it's really fun when you get it to work.
Nah.
That's dope. I've also just don't know. No.
Once you're used to it, you're
Yeah.
just,
Here's another thing that I didn't know. I actually don't know what this entails, but like when you're dismantling blueprints, you can also now change the build mode to completely dismantle all parts of the blueprint instead of only a single element. Wasn't that in the game already? Well, maybe that's not in up-to-date.
I am going to be real, and yeah, I think I'm allowed to say this.
Is this not an up-to-date chat, or maybe I'm wrong? It's not.
I've played internal for so long that I just don't remember.
Less than 4 minutes. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just played update
Yeah,
1.0
I think
so
so
long.
too. Yeah, internal has been like the life. For
And
so
yeah,
long.
there's a bunch of changes to like the build system. There's the clearance system has actually been updated as well, so like they're a bit tighter. There's the guideline system where I've showcased in this video where you can get clear guidelines now instead of just having green lights. And they also show like direction and stuff like that. And then it kind of talks about narrative, which we mentioned before. There is a narrative now in the game. We won't talk too much about that. That's up for you guys to discover.
Yes.
There's a ton of stuff in the world. I'm not going to go through these.
And again, to touch on the narrative super quickly, again, every single one I think of Ada's lines have been changed from the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
so,
every single line.
Worth checking them out.
And yeah, we're 3 minutes away from release, and we haven't even gotten to the end of the patch notes. There's so much else coming on. It has to do with like optimization, achievements, bug fixing, network optimization. There's been a lot of work gone into working out the kinks with the networking that code. Conveyor belt system has been completely remade for networking, for instance.
Skipping through the Steam post real quick to see what.
Yeah, exactly. Save system has been optimized, so like saving should be way faster. The rendering as well, like and like objects that are saved into the save file are also optimized. So yeah, there's so much
shit.
And dedicated servers. Haven't even touched that.
servers.
Dedicated servers are also gotten a lot of love, a lot of fixes for dedicated servers.
Thank you, Ben,
Not only Ben, but also
and all people.
yeah. And we're finally going to fully support dedicated servers now, by the way. Dedicated servers have, up until 1.0, been experimental, so they have not been finished. So now we're fully supporting them. 2 minutes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you want me? I can push the thing, so don't worry about it. Yeah. It's insane. It's insane how much work has gone into this one like update. And I think for a long time, I think when you work on it for so long, we feel like, oh, it's not too much new really. But like now that we actually started collecting,
It's earth-shattering.
yeah,
yes,
like when
when
we
you
actually go through the patch notes. And
When was the
whatnot.
last? Have you played U8 recently at all? Gone back?
No,
to
I
see-
can't.
Like properly play.
I can't without straight conveyor belts, and I
Yeah.
can't with a dimensional depot. So I like just refuse.
I took a couple of hours, just no more than a couple of hours, so too little time to just boot U8 up. It's insane.
Yeah,
yeah. It's night and day.
There's so many changes.
Yes.
And not only that, but like I really feel like the quality is so much better in 1.0.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I feel really happy and proud of what the team has put together in terms of quality for the game, and I am really excited to see and hear how it's going to go once it goes out into the wild, and finally get everyone to play. It's scary.
I think I'm feeling the pulse now.
Yeah.
Back just in time. 41 seconds to release.
Does all the oh god, yeah.
So in 30 seconds, roughly, you guys are gonna be able to play. Yeah.
Wait, come on, guys.
Freaking out. I'm freaking out as well. I can't believe we've got to this point with less than 30
Soon
seconds
count the
left.
amount of seconds on both of your hands.
Yeah. So much work has gone into this.
That's
It's
kind of
not-
dope.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I hope you'll all enjoy 1.0. I hope you'll all enjoy playing Satisfactory.
Come on.
And we can't wait to see everyone like make content and stream and see what you build and like community highlights and nutty.
4,
So without
3,
further ado, everyone,
2,
It's a launch time.
thanks for hanging out with us
one.
this time.
Get in. Come on. Is this like a trailer? I think this might be a trailer. Hello, lizard dogger. Oh, they've got new designs for the Pioneers. That's sick. I want to keep the default though, original. I like the music. Spotify. I love this music for this game. I built all things in them spots. I built pretty much every spot though. Imagine having that many nuclear power plants. That must take forever to set up as well. I know full well the devs haven't done it as well. I always wanted to set up a nice train line. I tried doing it, but it costs so much materials. I did like half of it. It was nice though. I hope you can ride the drones now, because every time you do it you just get flung off. Oh, I hear something. So not too much was revealed, but the skins, that's cool, Satisfactory skins! I like that! He deleted early access! I like that, I like that! Can I play that? Properties, can I check for update? I'm just gonna restart Steam. What are they going to show here? A controller. Oh, it's coming to console! Oh, sick! Is it going to be crossplay? Oh, sick! Hey, that's cool! Hey, maybe it's going to be crossplay. That'd be good, because then I can play with my other friends. Whoa, look at that! It's already updated.
Let's go,
wait, what?
everyone.
You sure? It's already updated? Let me... What do you mean it's already updated? No, it's not. How? Oh, they probably already had it in the game. Okay, okay. Well, hey. Come on, Declan, get in the Discord call. Hey, that's cool! Skins in console. I knew they would announce that at some point, the console thing. They never specifically